Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm not gonna lie, today I did some horrible trading. I was all over the place. I don't know if it was me just not getting enough sleep or if it was me just trading a ticker that was all over the place, BVXV. But as you can see here, I did 758 fills. Usually I'm doing around like 300, maybe 350 if I'm doing a bit more. So this was a lot of fills. I actually know what I'm up or down on today. And let's just go ahead and show you. It's a total scratch day for me. I'm up $34. And I started looking at one point after the market opened because I thought I was really red. I was like, this is bad. So I looked and I was red. I was down like $500. I thought I was down even more. And then I just barely got green on the day and I just called it, which is quite upsetting because I could have done much better today. There were some good, really good setups, and every time on BVXV, I hate that ticker, it's horrible to say, I pretty much got scratched out or sold too soon. There were so many perfect pullbacks that I traded, and then it would be wishy-washy for way too long. I would finally end up scratching, closing out, taking a small loss or maybe a small profit at best, and then it would rip 10-15%. It's never happened to me this much. So again, I don't know if it's maybe a little bit the ticker because how weird it was trading, or if I was just a little bit tired. And before we talk about these three tickers, I do want to go ahead and say, so on Thanksgiving, I took that Friday off. It was a half day, and I find it really important to take a few days off and relax a little bit. This Christmas week, I was a little bit undecided if I should take the week off or not, and I think, next year, I'll probably just go ahead and take this whole entire week off because I don't know if, even if you walk away this whole week and you make some decent profit, I don't know if it's really that worth it because sometimes you miss out on other things. Like yesterday, I was at a winter solstice dinner, and I definitely had to leave early because there's no way I'm going to wake up at 4:45. And it was already 10 o'clock, and I was like, I gotta cut it. So, things like that. It's not like ideal. And obviously, if you're a trader, you've probably became a trader either because you really like stocks like me, but also probably because it gives you freedom to do whatever you want in your life. And if you are, not able to maybe do all the things, then at one point maybe get a little frustrated. Plus, when you're trading on a day like today and you're red when you could have just slept in, it's extra frustrating. So I think going forward, I'm gonna keep taking more and more days off. That's exactly why I took Friday off on that Thanksgiving week, had my 4-day weekend, and it was just absolutely amazing. Came back fully rested. I'm really happy with that decision. Because if you do make money, there's, that opportunity cost that you could have done something else. And then if you lose money, then you're just like totally in the red, right? On all fronts. And I think that subconsciously is in the back of your mind a little bit. And I'm sure every trader and anyone in pretty much any industry can kind of relate to that in some form or another. So here I am today, basically on a full-on scratch. I am happy that I was able to get green because I could have easily had a max loss today, and that would have been really frustrating. So let's just go ahead, talk about these tickers in this order, and then probably with BVXV, focus on what I could have done much better to walk away green. And it'll probably be not a big surprise to many of you diehards on here. So let's start with RCAT. This was a ticker that popped up real quick, and it was kind of done before it even started. Unfortunately, I got caught into some of the fake outs. Now, this ticker is on a backside, and we've traded it in the past, but big resistance around $3 and some decent support around 2-3 or so. Electric equipment company, 53 million shares outstanding and 125 billion market cap. I wasn't really checking the catalyst, but it looks like it does have some government award catalysts, and those are usually really good catalysts. But unfortunately, this ticker is getting clobbered by, it looks like, some bag holders on this one, so it's having a hard time really running. And on the 5-minute, let's actually zoom in one more time on this. You can see it just wasn't able to break really above this 2.6 zone significantly and hold its highs. And around 7 a.m., I tried to trade a few of these continuations, which never ended up happening. I actually did look to trade this one somewhere in this area, but then around 10 o'clock, I just called it. I pulled the plug. That's when I finally went green on the day, and I was like, if I touch anything else and I have a red trade, I'm just going to get way too emotional. So that's really why I walked away more so than anything else. I think if I was totally green on the day and it was like another week that wasn't like a holiday week, I probably would have stuck and traded this a little bit longer to at least like, I don't know, 10, 15, keep trying in this area, because we did get that really nice break here at VWAP, and you had that 1 minute pullback, and that was just a 15% candle, so that was really good. Pre-market, this one was just really difficult to be trading here because all these shakeouts and just lack of continuation. So almost like a $300 loss on RCAT isn't even that bad. Moving on to SEAC, I'm up just slightly on this one. And the reason let's start to the daily again. This one's almost like a blue sky setup. It has obviously resistance in this zone, but I really like the fact that it broke some huge resistance here, and that was really good to see that. So we got a software company, shares at 49 million, and then 127 million market cap. Looks like there's some news catalysts popping up here. Quite a lot, actually. It is a multi-day runner, so that actually makes a lot of sense. And then on the 1 minute, let's go ahead and find that. You can actually see how this ticker was really, it had a quick run here. I think it got halted pre-market as well, went up 100%. And anytime you have these like late bloomers, I'm usually quite weary about them. I don't trade them unless I really get that front side, but I don't try to trade that consolidation. The reason I actually traded this in this area right here is because if you zoom in here to the 5 minute, you can see some really, really nice support that was forming here around 2.6. And when we broke that 2.6 zone, I was actually starting to accumulate, looking for at least a retest into the 2.6s, and that's kind of what we got here. But I didn't really have the best entry and the best exit, but still made just a small chunk of change on that one. Didn't really feel like holding was a good idea on it, so that's why I stopped trading it. And then BVXV, this is the beast. Oh my god. Let's go ahead, zoom in on this one and see how I did. So this is the daily chart with big time resistance at 3.5, at $4, and then here at 2.5, big time support. It is a pharmaceutical company, 14 million shares outstanding and a 41 million market cap. They did actually have a really nice catalyst, some COVID news here, which COVID news has been kind of wishy-washy, but I liked, definitive agreements, development, commercialization, antibody therapy, University Medical Center, Göttingen in Germany. So I did like that catalyst, but again, it's not really my focus. And then let's go to the 5 minute and check this one out a little bit more in depth, and you can see how much of a buffoon I was trading this one. Wow, just ridiculous. And the crazy thing about BVXV is if we just kind of hide my trades for a second, you can see that this ticker was pretty much never in a backside, and it was ranging technically here a little bit, but technically on the 5 minute it was just a continuous front side. On the 1 minute, that story is much different, because there we were ranging for quite some time here, and the front sides always pulled back so heavy. So it was a little bit of a tricky one in like a very delayed ticker overall. But I gotta say, on the 5 minute, technically if you were just focused on the 5 minute, you probably would have absolutely slayed this ticker. We had some really, really good setups, and there was some fake outs, but overall I think you could have really cleaned up nicely with BVXV. I think if it was any other day, I could have just been pretty green on it. I don't know. Today, maybe I just woke up on the wrong side on this one. Let's go ahead and check out the 1 minute chart, and you'll just, it's almost not even worth talking about here. Really, the big takeaway is focus on the 5 minute. There's really nothing else I can say. We had perfect pullbacks to the 9 EMA, and that's pretty much my one-on-one strategy, where I'm looking for either 5 minute breakouts and then buying those 1 minute candle pullbacks and looking for continuation, or accumulating on good 5 minute setups along the 9 EMA on a front side ticker. Not a backside ticker or a ranging ticker, a front side ticker. So if we just go now again to here, my first trade on it was right around in this area. Let's actually pull it up, see if we can see it. And yes, look how chaotic that is. So I ended up buying here, which was not a good 5 minute setup. It was way too extended still. In this $2 zone, we were just kind of like wishy-washy way up here. And then it flushed on me, and just like that, I lost 10%. This was a huge sell-off. It was like a 20% sell-off almost. And I did pretty bad on this one. And luckily I was only half size, but just like that, I was down $500 on BVXV, and I was like, all right, let's go. Here we go. And then I ended up chasing in this area, did some trades on it. But it was always just really, really hectic trading. Let's just, pull them up so you guys can see. And then let's kind of go forward here a little bit. This is where I started getting really frustrated. So we broke back above VWAP around 820, and you can see I was buying these pullbacks, really accumulating, getting ready for those rips. And it does rip. It actually rips a lot, like 15-20%. And guess what? I sell like pretty much for a scratch in this area. And then I chase in this area and get really frustrated. And then again, pulls back, way too extended. I'm a little bit early in this pullback. But whatever, I actually had one of my best entries as well at 254, but then it pops up to 257 and I sell everything. This is like a $7.5 thousand position size, and then right after I sell it, look at that, it just goes on a 11% run. So boom, just like that, that's already two really good trades that I messed up. And then the same thing happens here. I actually closed this one for a red trade, and then boom, another 14% pop. That's 3 trades right there. I could be, up 5,000 at that point. Somehow I'm right on the day, and I'm just like, oh, why? And it's extra frustrating because you're red when you should be green for sure. Because the setups are actually like pretty okay. They're always a little bit extended to the downside and wishy-washy, but overall, I mean, it's a pretty clean move. On the intraday, it was just like, it was really sporadic the way it was moving, so it was always geeking me out. Here's another setup where I actually end up losing money, and I'm selling at like the perfect low right before another move up. So that's like number 4, and then again I lose money here before it moves up. I actually lose money on this first trade right before it spikes, and then it moves up again, and it pretty much again and again and again. It was just like I was like, ah. So BVXV, I think at one point after all my scalping on it, I was somewhat green, and then I was just like, there's such a good chance that I'm going to chase something or do something silly and then just lose another $500, be back in the red. So I'm going to take this scratch day and just be happy with it, because it could have been much worse. Obviously it could have been much better, but in hindsight it could always be much better. So as long as sometimes you can just walk away as a scratch, especially when you're not really trading that well, I think is more than you can ask for. I did really think I could keep trading this one in this area. I thought there was a really good chance of a retest of 3-4. I mean, again, look, that was 11% move, and look, I sell right before that. But I just knew that. I feel like I would have chased here, and then it would have went down, and then I would have took like a 1% loss, and then I would have chased again. Like, that's how I was trading. I was just trading way too emotional and way too like reactive, and I wasn't really being patient, waiting for those good setups, and then letting it ride out. I just had no follow through today. So big mistake there on my end. But I think the big takeaway is really what I was saying in the beginning of this video, where sometimes taking a little bit of extra time off is really the way to go. So big congratulations to anyone out there that realized that and took this time off. And I think at this point I'm going to be trading tomorrow just I'm going to try to make it a half day. So as soon as I get like a good front side move or anything like that, I'm just going to take my profits and walk away. So let's hope for the best. I am at green so far every day this week, so that is pretty nice. Plus, next year I am planning to take about like a whole month off, so maybe that's a little bit why I wanted to trade maybe this week. I don't know, it's hard to say, but I think it's really important to take some time off. Last year I did that 10 days straight where I took off. I also did a whole month where I took Fridays off. So you always have to do like whatever feels right to you. There's really no set in stone system. What we do know is Q3, Q4, and Q1 are usually the hottest, and then Q2 is really like where the market just totally evaporates. So if you are going to ever take like a whole month off, usually Q2 is that perfect time for that. So sometimes you want to store up that energy so you're really ready to go when the market's a little bit hotter in the fall, winter, and spring. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoyed your winter solstice yesterday. Today's the start of short or longer days. So yesterday was the shortest day of the year. So get ready for more sunshine. But till then, don't forget to keep taking your vitamin D. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow morning. Drop a like on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. We'd love to have you part of the community. And like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao.